trust your crypto assets to centralized exchanges that actively sell your private information and front-run your trades? Would you like to buy and sell your assets without any middlemen, intermediaries, or robots? Do you like paying slippage, fees, and having the price go up as bots steal from you on low-liquidity decentralized exchanges? The solution is nodemarket.io. Set your guaranteed buy or sell price. No middlemen, no slippage, no bots, ever. Buy or sell 1, 10, or even 10 million tokens, and you never have to worry. OTC trades are between you and the seller or buyer, guaranteed by audited smart contracts and no human middlemen. Nodemarket.io.
How's the weekend?
Quiet. And then the cat at about 5 a.m. decided he started marking furniture in the bedroom. Bedroom furniture.
Just
That's
ripping it to shreds? Ripping it up?
No, marking, like peeing on it. But
that kind of marking.
You know how they have a special kind of pee for marking that's different than the regular pee?
Oh, yeah. It's got a little bit different stuff in there, right?
Yeah, it smells like Satan's ball sack.
Yeah, I heard it's rough.
Yeah.
Heard it's rough.
So, do you know, did I tell you one time he marked me while I was asleep? I was like, what in the smoking hell is this? Anyway.
Possession.
So I was mad, and I was like, you're not getting chicken treats today. And then after about an hour of him running around out in the yard, I was like, okay, well, you can have your chicken treats.
That's parenting 101 right there.
Yeah. I was like, he's probably forgotten. I asked Kendall, was like, do you think he even remembers he's in trouble? I was like, well, yeah, maybe not. So we might as well, what are we punishing? We might as well give him the chicken because he eats the chicken and then he passes out. So it's like, good. All right. What's going on in your weekend? Actually, a couple things. I had some orders on Aptos get filled. You know, Aptos went. I had it sold. I put an order in and came back down and grabbed it. So I'm back in Aptos.
I bet they filled. Holy crap. Nice little dip this morning, huh?
Yeah, this market est the bed.
Yeah.
A lot of leverage got whacked yesterday. Oh, now do you think, I know this sounds bad, but do you think part of it was because of how bad Brad Garlinghouse shit the bed on 60 Minutes?
I don't know. I don't know if it's related. I mean, I don't know, dude. Every Monday's
Did you see any of that?
I didn't watch it. I heard about it, but I didn't watch it.
What's cool is he was all mad because he's like, they didn't highlight the fact that XRP is not a security. No, man. They didn't say XRP is not a security. They said secondary market sales don't constitute an illegal security offering, you fucking dick. All the other stuff you did is illegal. And of course, 60 Minutes talked about that. So yeah. I don't know what he was expecting. Do these guys live in some weird cloud where they think that all these degen crypto bros are that's the rest of the world, the way they're received? Dude, traditional financial people don't like rich crypto people at all. Especially rich crypto people that, may or may not have broken the law a lot. Yeah. They're not like big fans. These bankers that like grind it, these dumbass, career alcoholic bankers that grind it day in and day out to make $240K a year. They're not big fans of the Brad Garlic Mouse and the Justin Sons and all these other douche factories that get out there and just make out of thin air billions of dollars. They're like, you guys are all scum. They hate them. They don't think that they deserve the money. Like, I mean, a lot of the reasons are not justified, but many of them are justified.
Yeah. So it is kind of strange how, like, for example, these airdrops can make money out of thin air. How does that even happen? It doesn't make sense to me.
If 2 people buy a token, it's got a market cap.
Yeah, I guess it does instantly. And then,
you know what we should do? We should create our debt coin, our national debt coin. It's the reverse stable coin.
Yeah.
We should issue it we're going to only give one token to each of the people that are in digital investors. Each get one token. We're going to create a trillion.
A trillion, and then they each get one, but that will be the circulating supply. So the fully diluted value will be $1 trillion, right?
Yep. And then we will each trade them for $1.
Then we have the biggest market cap crypto in the entire world.
Well, no, we'd be number 2, right?
Oh, yeah, I guess behind Bitcoin, right?
But that's okay. Number 2's cool.
Number 2's cool. Then Vitalik will call us up and be like, hey, you guys got to step on the brakes a little bit. I can't keep up with you. We'll be like, okay,
we should send him like 100 billion of them.
Oh, 100, so he can dump them.
Then we're gonna
that's what he's good for. That's what he's good for.
Then we'll give some to Brad Garlinghouse. Real quick, I know that most of you guys understand this. Right now, in these contracts, these hypercycle contracts, 30% of your tokens don't go missing. 30% of your revenue doesn't disappear. Is anyone unclear about it? Doesn't just go away and you don't get it. The original intent, and this is being remedied, but the original intent was to sequester them because you would pay for compute hardware, which, I don't know, we can look at that and say that's kind of silly. But that's what they thought because they're engineers, the people that built this contract, and they've never used crypto. So it is what it is. But that's being rectified also. But regardless, you don't lose those. It's not like 30% of your revenue. Someone gave me an email today. Well, since 30% of our revenue is gone. No, man, stop. Listen to all the words, not just the few that stop. Anyway. Do we have any housekeeping over the weekend that we needed to sort out?
No, everybody's working very good. NGMRT is still live. Now, keep in mind, too, gas is super high right now. So if you're going to go buy, it looks like the lowest listing that I have is 5,000 tokens. You're going to pay $60 in gas. Probably not worth it right now. But just be cognizant of the fees on the blockchain. That's it.
Okay. Let's see. Any back end stuff, we're good, right? Did you... Other than, well, let's get to the news then, because the news is actually kind of cool, and then we'll get behind the wall.
Yes.
So, first, old Sailor, old gentleman Jack.
Sailor. Missed an opportunity, too. The fattest of opportunities he missed in the crypto space. Idiot.
Oh, what did he miss? How so?
They bought 21,550 Bitcoin last week, just like we thought they would. He sold a ton of money. The stock's dumb anyway. So they bought 21,550, but he bought 3,650 Bitcoin too much. Did you see that? Because he could have been at the iconic crypto number, obviously, and had 420,000 Bitcoin for a spell. He's an idiot. Yeah. Does he even know what he's doing? He might as well quit crypto. No, you quit crypto after this. This is a joke. Quit crypto.
So Sailor suggests that replacing gold with Bitcoin and U.S. reserves is a way to increase global financial power. So Michael Saylor proposes that the U.S. government replace gold with Bitcoin in its reserves. Well, I can tell you this: the gold that they claim is there, it ain't there, bro.
There's a proxy token, and it's so
there's a bunch of IOUs, and this is
exactly what that's what Schiff said he wants to do now with all the gold, because everybody's like, well, gold's too hard to move. He's like, well, we can create a proxy token. It's like, that's crypto, bro.
Well, the thing is that the gold that people think is in the reserves is not there, and a lot of it's not been there for decades. During the Bush administration, they pilfered most of that shit, and they just put IOUs. And when governments were coming and saying, hey, we want our gold back, the U.S. would just say, sorry. They're like, what do you mean, sorry? You have our gold. That was part of the deal in the 50s. That was the whole gold reserve. They're like, yeah, man. Yeah, we don't have it, bro. You can't get it. So, which is weird. But anyway, so essentially, Sailor's arguing that by replacing whatever gold is left in the reserve with Bitcoin, it would strengthen the country's global financial dominance. He predicts Bitcoin's value could reach 100 trillion under this strategy. Listen, I'm not mad at Saylor at this point for doing anything that increases the price of Bitcoin, because that's all Saylor's about. I'm not saying this is healthy. This is kind of dumb, you would just simply add. You would create another fund, and you would have gold as a hedge, and you would have Bitcoin as a hedge. It doesn't have to be one or the other. He's just looking. Saylor doesn't understand what he doesn't understand. I guess if you put he and Schiff together, you would have one person that thinks straight and one just absolutely retarded kid. So I know that's not PC, but he'd be absolutely retarded. Anyway, Saylor predicts that Bitcoin's value could reach 100 trillion if they initiated this strategy, and figures like Cathie Wood are in his corner. Michael Saylor has reignited the debate on Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset. Now, what's interesting is, I'm not sure. Brandon, do you think this actually happens? Do you think that we actually get a Bitcoin, a U.S. Bitcoin reserve, national reserve?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I think it does get added to the balance sheet. I think it eventually does.
I say eventually, but not yet. And I don't think it's going to be for a while, because now a lot of states are lining up to do it. I think it's going to be when you have 2 or 3 states, it's not enough. If you had 10 to 12 states,
supposedly there's 11. There's 11 states ready.
Right. Dennis Porter, is that his name?
Dennis Porter claims there's 11. He claims there's a big announcement this week too, with 7 news media outlets covering it. We'll see.
I think it has to be on the other side of that. I don't think it could be pre that. I think it would be post that.
Yep.
That's my thoughts. Okay. The MicroStrategy chief, Saylor, believes, we'll call him Halftard1, believes that Bitcoin can help the U.S. strengthen its position and dominate global finance. He suggested the U.S. government acquire 20 to 25% of all Bitcoin. This is just musical chairs, and he's just saying if the U.S. government bought up all the chairs, then we'd own all the chairs. Like, this is, to me, it's a pretty intellectually weak argument. I think Saylor's a compulsive fucking gambler is what I think. And I think he's going to do, at least it's Saylor being Saylor, he's going to do anything he can to continue to pump Bitcoin, even if it's astronomically stupid what he's saying. He's right, but for the wrong reasons, which is weird because he seems like sometimes he seems smart and sometimes he seems like a psychopath. But anyway, he predicts the move would lower gold's value. Yeah, no shit. If you're selling a bunch of gold into another asset, of course it would lower gold's value. Forcing countries like Russia and China to sell their gold assets and buy Bitcoin. Not true. They can print money whenever they want to buy Bitcoin. So can the U.S. This is the thing that these guys, they're like, well, if you sold gold, then you could do this. Bitch, when has the government ever said, well, we can't spend any more money because we're out of gold? When is it? No one. Dude, gold salespeople don't even do that. They print money. Go back to the Wildcat bankers that were like, okay, bring your gold in and we'll give you a gold coupon for a depository. I'm like, cool. Okay, wait, how many coupons are you giving out? Shh, you're asking all the wrong questions. Just take your coupon and move along, son. So this is all coupon. And so if any of these governments want to buy anything, they don't go and sell anything. This is not like us balancing our checkbook. People have this so twisted. Like, I just don't. Maybe we need to have like a basic 101, like how government work. You can imagine like all the forefathers got together, like, how much gold do you guys have? This is the current, then we can issue this much currency. No. Anyway, Saylor predicts, Halftard1 predicts that Bitcoin's value could reach 100 trillion if the U.S. adopts this strategy. So this bold, well, obviously, think of the inflation that would be created if the government acted in this way and in similar type of. It's just, that's why, right? Like, I'm sure Bitcoin has no problem getting a high valuation in Venezuela. The bold claim contrasts Bitcoin's current market cap of just under 2 trillion. Okay, so despite skepticism, Saylor sees Bitcoin as a better store of value than gold. He even suggests that the U.S. sell its entire gold reserve to buy Bitcoin, making it the world reserve capital network. What a retard. He's full tard. He's not even half tard.
He's committed.
And then guess who jumped in? Like, yeah, Cathie Wood. CEO of spammy ass, gambly ass ARK Investment, who believes Bitcoin's future is brighter than gold and could exceed 17.6 trillion market cap. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell has also referred to Bitcoin as a virtual gold. That's a misquote. He said it's virtual gold, but and then he went on to caveat that. However, ... He said that people look at it like as it's virtual gold. He did not call it virtual gold. Anyway, I guess you can do whatever you want with quotes. Under Saylor strategy, what do we call that? We had another name, not microfail.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Well, we called him Micro Saylor.
Micro Saylor, I like that name though.
Micro Saylor owns over 402,000 Bitcoin. The strategy seems to be paying off as long as everyone keeps buying.
Yeah, as long as Bitcoin goes up, and I'm okay with it.
Then Peter Schiff comes in and says, "Whoa, buddy." Peter Schiff says Bitcoin is a danger to national security.
Oh yeah.
Not just a bad financial decision, but actually could get us in real security risk. He says he warns that Bitcoin's become a national security threat, especially if government funds are used to buy it. As Bitcoin value rises, debates continue about Bitcoin's ability to change financial systems and create risks. Bitcoin, the world's largest currency, has become a hot topic. Peter Schiff has called it public enemy number one. He's no longer called an economist, by the way. Maybe they're listening to us. He's now called a financial expert. I don't know what makes you an expert. I guess if you say you're an expert, you're an expert. That's what it I'm an expert, yes. He believes Bitcoin, HT2, believes Bitcoin is no longer just a risky investment for private individuals. It's now a threat to national security, he argued. According to Schiff, Bitcoin supporters are bribing government officials to use taxpayers' money to buy Bitcoin, which he argues is dangerous for people. Yeah, if that was going on, that would be dangerous for people. This guy shifts the bed every chance. Get it? Shifts the bed. Bitcoin
is okay if they use taxpayer money to buy gold, though.
Yeah, of course, that was okay. Peter Schiff's comments, and also they don't use taxpayer money to do anything. They create money out of thin air and maybe use taxpayer money a year later to maybe pay down some of the debt they created a year ago. This whole thing is all backwards. Anyway, Peter Schiff's comments only come amid ongoing discussions on whether Bitcoin could be used as a national reserve asset like gold. Micro Saylor advocated for Bitcoin to replace gold in reserves. Saylor believes Bitcoin could help the U.S. stay financially strong. Of course, when you look at what Saylor's saying, it only works if at some point they're selling that Bitcoin to offset debt. So I guess Saylor's strategy just works for the few years Saylor has left on this planet, right?
Yeah, I don't think he thought that all the way through. I don't think anybody thought that all the way through, right?
How does owning a bunch of Bitcoin
pay off
make
debt?
the U.S. dominant if the U.S. has no plans to ever sell any of the Bitcoin? They're not just going to open up options accounts on Deribit.
Because they have to, well, unless the other countries will, unless whoever holds the debt will accept Bitcoin as payment, then there's no sell pressure on the market, I guess, right?
Well, it's the same difference, isn't it? If you're keeping dollar liquidity, I mean, if you made it tradable for debt, that's cool, but it'd be a long argument to say that they're going to go into the treasury market and let you settle let you buy treasuries with Bitcoin or get out of your treasuries into Bitcoin. That doesn't even make any sense. That's many bridges too far. So I don't know. I guess I just don't know what the exit. It's like these guys like Kaiser, Max Kaiser. I'm never selling. Whatever. You're like, okay, but then if you don't have some option strategy employed, then how do you make your life better? Like how do you buy shit? How do you go buy food? Like what do you?
Maybe that's what they're going to do. They're going to sell call options all day long on their Bitcoin.
To who?
I don't know.
Like, can you imagine 1 million Bitcoin? That kind of heat comes in. Who's on the other side of that trade? There's not. I don't know, man.
Somebody.
Anyway, but I mean, it makes number go up right now, and for us, number go up right now is great. So come on, Saylor. Woo!
Buy Bitcoin.
But we have to be honest but his theory is stupid. It's flawed. And all these guys, now I'm not saying having Bitcoin as a reserve asset is stupid. I think that's a good idea, but I think it's a good idea with the understanding that as Bitcoin makes milestones, small amounts of Bitcoin would meet the market to offset debt that's been run into. And then of course, you get a-holes, not a-holes. I don't so much mind him, Jeff Bezos, but he's like, he thinks he's dropping this knowledge bomb. He goes, I have a better way to get us out of debt. We just grow GDP to 5%, and then we will just inflate away the debt. Listen to what you're saying, Mr. Bezos. You're saying you want to go and actively raise GDP because that's so easy. It's easy, Brandon. Brandon, can you just be 7 inches taller? Just do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Just be taller. Just be taller. Will it? Like it doesn't work that way. You can't print prosperity, A. B, even if you could, his imagining is inflate away the debt. What does that mean for me buying eggs at the store or Joe Sixpack? If you inflate away, if you can inflate away, what's the debt right now? 36 trillion?
Yeah.
So you're going to inflate 36 trillion? Just what?
Eggs would be $100 a dozen. $100.
Like so when they say these things, they don't make any sense. You're like, do you guys think past point A? And you wonder, like, I don't understand how these guys are so wildly successful. And I mean, Amazon was a good idea, but I think that's where we stop listening to Jeff, right? And I think that gold, to some extent, in some people's portfolios years ago was a good idea, but that's where we stopped listening to Peter Schiff. And I think everything after this psychopath was, I think we stopped listening to Michael Saylor once he started selling people the option for 0% premium to buy his stock at a double. What kind of deal is that? Like,
no, that's not Michael Saylor's fault. That's a good idea. That's not his fault. That's the people buying it. And whatever, if they make money and everybody makes money, because what has to happen if they make money? Basically, Bitcoin's at 250K. I'm happy still, so I'm good with it all.
I know, but that's like saying I'm cold, so I'm going to just take my hairspray out, spray it up into the sky at night because I'm cold now. Screw the grandkids.
Oh, yeah.
Like, people do need to think a little bit down the line. So, oh God. Anyway,
yeah.
So that's that. So his basic theory is that Bitcoin is a national threat. He didn't qualify that with any kind of threatening-y things. He just jumped on the back. Former U.S. Treasury Secretary Lawrence Summers called it crazy, pointing out the risks involved. And Lawrence Summers, most of what he said was kind of stupid, Treasury Secretary, blah, blah, blah. But part of what he said was, where's the exit that creates the extra money? And that's I kind of agree with him on that. Powell kind of said the same thing. He's like, these guys they're dumb, but they're not stupid. So it's like, they might not understand crypto specifically, but they get it. Like, you can't create a new asset. It's not really pegged to anything and just hope number go up as a way to solve all the world's problems. Like, the world's problems are that all these bureaucrats print first and ask second. That's never going to change because that's how you get elected. You don't get elected on the, hey, listen, I'm cutting everybody's dividends. I'm cutting everybody's Social Security. I'm raising the price of insurance campaign. Those guys, they don't go very far in campaigning. The fewer jobs, higher taxes, austerity is the key campaign. Those guys don't make it. That's why you never hear about the austerity ticket. You got the Democrats, Republicans, Libertarians. What about the austerity guys? Oh, they couldn't afford to come to the conference.
Yeah.
So that's is Bitcoin national threat. And then finally, the Treasury Department's FSOC says that stablecoins represent risk to U.S. financial stability. Essentially, as the council has stated over the last several years, stablecoins continue to represent a potential risk to financial stability because they are actually vulnerable to runs absent appropriate risk management standards. And you know what? They are 100% right. And they outline Tether. as it's something that makes him uncomfortable. And Tether should make everybody here uncomfortable. And we've been saying this since we got into crypto. Back in 2014, people were like, stablecoin, the idea of like a stablecoin is kind of cool. By 2017, they're like, oh, Tether. And then people started asking, hey, is it weird that every time Tether prints more money, Bitcoin goes up? People were like, oh, it's probably uncorrelated. Probably just tons of people giving Tether just truckloads of dollar units of like paper money. And then Tether's just taking that, buying treasuries, and then just creating Tether, because that's how it works, right? No, it's not. Even Paul Arduino or whatever his name is, the guy, Paolo, the guy that's kind of in control of like Tether, even he was like, well, we meant Tether to meet market demand. So you just admitted that you're not taking dollar for dollar for the Tether you're printing. We do it to meet market demand. What does that even mean? So Tether, you want to guess what Tether's total market cap is right now?
Oh my gosh.
138 billion.
Yeah.
You think these mofos have 138 billion in anythings? Come on, man. Now, I know the individuals that are part of Tether are all rich because they were taking this counterfeit funny money for years and buying Bitcoin and Ethereum. And Bitcoin and Ethereum went straight up. Basically, in direct proportion to Tether coming into the market. So this whole Tether thing is a huge problem that no one seems to care about. And I don't even think the people at Tether really care. And I don't think anybody all these government guys, this is all bullshit. We're scared about Tether. No, you're not. Because they all did these information sharing agreements, the CIA and the IRS and they did all these agreements with Tether. They're not going to give that up. They love the fact that people try to launder money with Tether. And then they can track those transactions because people laundering money with Tether are fucking idiots.
It's on the blockchain.
Because it's all right there, man. It's like, oh God, people are stupid, man. You want to launder money? Do it the old-fashioned way. Get a duffel bag.
Get cash or gold. That's the best
way.
Get
cash or gold. Get on a plane. Rent a plane. Do it the old-fashioned way, man.
Yeah, that's how they sussed out that the Haktua girls so quickly, because it's easily readable.
Because you can read everything. Everybody's like, wait, what do you mean? It's obvious, bro. Their final thing was basically, although there's some assets, some of the stable coins are subject to state-level supervision. Many provide limited verifiable information about their holdings and reserve management. Yeah, and that is Tether, and it's a huge problem, and no one cares. No one cares. They've never cared. I don't know that anyone ever will care. So there we go. That's it. That's all the news I got. The market is shitting the bed. Let's go behind the wall and talk about it. See. When the market
gave you a buy opportunity, right?
Man, I love it. Yes, because when the market goes down in a bull market, in the beginning of a bull market, prices are going to hit those prices again.
Yes.
So you're just like, okay, well, which of the ones I might buy some stuff today? I actually thought about looking at all the profit I had made in Aptos that I kept on the side and said, well, I wonder if I should redeploy that. I don't know. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
And all that. Let's go over here. Let's go over here. Let's go over here. Let's go over here. We can get rid of, wait a minute. We can get rid of that guy. We can get rid of this. Look at all this stuff that's happening in real time. You guys are part of this. You guys are part of the action. You guys are part of the
It's like an interactive show, right?
Yes. Yes. You're part of everybody here is a part of the action.
Going behind the proverbial wall now to continue the broadcast privately for the digital investors and digital private clients. If you'd like to join us, simply go to nickblacknext.com and subscribe to one of our plans and immediately take advantage of our library of tools, tactics, and information. It's all designed to help you learn, grow, and manage your portfolio like a pro. Join us now. Ooh, intrigue music.
as I say goodbye to Facebook. More intrigue music as I say goodbye to the one person on Twitch. More intrigue as my unwatched YouTube channel